So today, the United States launched a trade war against Canada, their closest partner and ally, their closest friend. At the same time, they're talking about working positively with Russia, appeasing Vladimir Putin, a lying, murderous dictator. Make that make sense. Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight. Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake. At the moment, the U.S. tariffs came into effect in the early hours of this morning, and so did the Canadian response. Canada will be implementing 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods, starting with tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods immediately, and tariffs on the remaining $125 billion of American products in 21 days' time. Le dollar de marchandises de plus. Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald, they point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do. All across your country. Today, we will also be challenging these illegal actions by filing dispute resolution claims at the World Trade Organization and through the USMCA. But in the meantime, our tariffs will remain in place until the U.S. tariffs are withdrawn, and not a moment sooner. And should these tariffs not cease, we are in active and ongoing discussions with provinces and territories to pursue several non-tariff measures, measures which will demonstrate that there are no winners in a trade war. We've done together to tackle the scourge. We don't want this. We want to work with you as a friend and ally, and we don't want to see you hurt either. But your government has chosen to do this to you. As of this morning, markets are down, and inflation is set to rise dramatically all across your country. Your government has chosen to put American jobs at risk, at the thousands of workplaces that succeed because of materials from Canada or because of consumers in Canada, or both. We designated 7 drug cartels. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today. Now, the legal pretext your government is using to bring in these tariffs is that Canada is apparently unwilling to help in the fight against illegal fentanyl. Well, that is totally false.
I mean, we're going to struggle and they're going to struggle, and a lot of it is out of our hands, and that's really frustrating and sad to see the relationships between our two countries, to see the relationships between vendors. It's heartbreaking that the government is causing a rift between people who just want to do business, just want to have a livelihood.
Who knows when we're going to start seeing the impact? I mean, once the manufacturer starts passing on that cost to us, we're going to have no choice but to pass it on. But we're still feeling the COVID effects from, and all the EV mandates. I mean, that drove up the price of cars crazily. So I hate to think what tariffs are going to do. When we get a price increase, if we can't absorb it, we have to pass it on, and that's what it amounts to. It's going to be a tax or a price increase. However you want to call it, it's a cost to us, and we'd have to pass it on. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Buenos días a todos. Por ello, hemos decidido responder con medidas arancelarias y no arancelarias que anunciaré en plaza pública el próximo domingo. No es de ninguna manera o el propósito iniciar una confrontación económica o comercial que desafortunada y lamentablemente es lo opuesto a lo que deberíamos de estar haciendo, es decir, integrar más nuestras economías para fortalecer nuestra región. Nadie gana con esta decisión, por el contrario, afecta a los pueblos que representamos.
Si es absurdo que Donald Trump nos ponga aranceles, ¿por qué lo queremos devolver de la misma manera? Al grado de que de antemano sabemos que el consumidor es el que va a pagar el impuesto, sea el 25 o el 30.
Bueno, ya han sido varias veces entre que estamos que sí se aplican los aranceles, no se aplican los aranceles. La última vez se había dicho que bueno, se iba a ir hasta abril y apenas el fin de semana fue que no, ¿saben qué? Siempre para el 4 de marzo vamos a aplicarlo. Entonces como que este titubeo siento que pues más bien trae algún otro trasfondo que aún no ha salido a la luz.
Die Börse in den USA, insbesondere die letzten Tage, schon mit einiger Schwäche, weil man sieht, dass die Konsequenzen für die USA, für die Verbraucher in den USA deutlich höher sind als für viele Länder, die in die USA exportieren. Dennoch, rote Vorzeichen mittlerweile überall. Europa, als auch natürlich die anderen Länder, die betroffen sind, Mexiko, Kanada, nun ganz frisch, aber auch China, werden alle sich überlegen, wie sie damit umgehen können. Ich glaube, am Ende wird es natürlich darauf rauslaufen, dass es Zölle geben wird. Nur wie hoch die sind, das muss noch verhandelt werden. Der Dealmaker hat sich vielleicht auch ein wenig verzockt. Deswegen ist die Frage, ob nicht unter Umständen Herr Trump auch an einigen Stellen später zurückrudern muss. Denn für die US-Verbraucher ist das Problem am allergrößten. Sie zahlen am Ende die Zeche und das kann nicht im Interesse des Präsidenten sein.
Thank you. And Chancellor, it must be a very busy time.
And so I don't want to see tariffs increase. I don't think it serves anyone well. And it's absolutely the case that even if tariffs aren't applied to the UK, we will be affected by slowing global trade, by a slower GDP growth and by higher inflation than otherwise would be the case. And we don't want to see tariffs. And I will continue to make the case with all my international counterparts for free and open trade.
You got this. Here we go.
We work very hard at Hasbro to make sure that the toys that we make are affordable. Over 60% of the toys that are sold in the United States are under $20 retail. And so one of the things we're really trying to do in the situation with tariffs is make sure that our toys stay affordable, but at a certain level the tariffs are going to drive consumer prices up. There's really no way around that. We're working hard to mitigate the impact of that. We're working with our vendors, we're working with our supply chain, but we really don't see any way that consumers aren't going to be affected by these tariffs.
You know, over the last 5 or 6 years, Mattel has made an effort to really diversify our global supply chain and our manufacturing footprint. Right now, we have about 40% of our toys that are manufactured in China. And if you think about the dynamics of the US, that's about 20% of the products in the US that are influenced by tariffs. Looking forward to 2027, we expect not more than 25% to be manufactured in one country. So that's really what a diversified manufacturing footprint means.
The latest increase in tariffs, 20% for China, and the existing that might go into effect at 25% on Mexico and Canada, are really, really difficult for the folks here that are at New York Toy Fair. When you think about it, 96% of the people that are here are small businesses. So low price point, very tight margin industry with a 20% tariff is very, very problematic for everybody that's here at the toy fair in New York.